recently when I've been starting back sessions, and for a long time when I start my back sessions, I tend to like to start with like a pull over movement, something where I'm going in that arc, that range of motion. I find for numerous reasons it's good to warm up the shoulder and elbow joint that way. It's not exactly like going to overly fatigue me at the start of the session, so I can still have a shit ton of energy for my pull downs and rows and everything else, and I get really warm and I can contract my lats and my whole back well. Recently I've obviously been using the pullover machine that we have here, but my elbows are just starting to get beat up with obviously my push session on the Monday, the like density day, back hamstring day on Tuesdays, and then my arm session that I just done yesterday. So because of that, I'm trying to just completely limit the absolute battering my elbows are getting at the moment. So I did this today, or rather we're doing this instead of the pullover. And when I'm doing this, the only thing I'm thinking about is just a sweeping motion, pulling through my elbows. Personally, I find it better than anything else to warm up my back with. So DY roll, whatever the fuck you want to call it, this hammer strength roll. So for ages I've done this as a one arm row machine. I'm going to drop my tripod down because this is like a huge handle. For ages I've done this as a one arm movement, and it just felt I feel like my ribs move, and it makes me feel like I've got a hernia when I do this one arm. For whatever reason, it just doesn't click with me. And recently, I've started doing this again instead of doing the cable roll. I'm doing two arms and I'm letting my chest kind of sit and rise. And I've seen a lot of Mike Van Wyck doing this. And I was like, fucking hell, that makes so much more sense doing it that way. Started doing it this way, feel my lats just as much as I have done on a like low seated cable lat roll, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And I prefer this. So again, just 2 sets here, a heavy set and a back off. Nice and simple, and again with this, like I'm letting my like shoulders and chest roll over the pads to get that stretch, to let my lat and upper back move, and then when I'm pulling, I'm just letting my chest lift naturally, because when you're pulling your elbow back, your chest wants to lift. To me, a lot of this seems very obvious. I find it very strange when people try to do compound movements in isolation. Like your shoulders and elbows need to move for you to do a roll, so why would you stay static to do it? People may hear this and drastically disagree with me, which is sound. You're entitled to your own opinion. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right, so now on to the Chessboard T-bar. Big fan of this T-bar. Obviously, we've got ironically, two Chessboard T-bars in the gym. We've got the Watson one, which you can adjust every part of it, and then we've got, I'm pretty sure it's an old Jamaican one, it's Taylor Johnson's T-bar. So shout out to Taylor. I don't know if that's lighting. Anyway, so I use like the kind of horizontal handles here to hit my upper back. Ironically, I've spent the past whole off season trying to drastically improve my lats, my lower lats. And when I've started with Brad, he's been like, yeah, mate, your back's good, but you need more upper mid back. So a lot of the movements I'm doing now are essentially targeting that. I do find going on this a bit too heavy and using a bit of body English allows me to just get such a better contraction and feel my whole upper back. I just find it bombards it. So I do that from the top set, and then the back off set, the drop set, whatever you want to call it, the down set. Same thing. I'm really overextending, so I'm letting my whole shoulders roll over and let my chest engulf the pads, and then I drive back. It's just sheer power. And what I have been doing for this, what me and the boys have been doing on this for a while, is like almost like a continuous drop set. So rather than racking it, play off and go in, it's just as soon as they can tell I'm about to struggle, play off, keep going, play off. And I just find that constant tension just completely transforms the not even the movement, but the set. It's so much more difficult. It does batter fuck at my lungs. I am getting off of that movement and there's no energy or air in my lung at all.
but I'm afraid that's not up to me. Cause when I hear you sing through my speakers, it's like my mind takes a hold of me. I've tried shutting you off.
Right, so after the cable pull down lat movement, we did the one on high row machine. So this is something that's been a fucking staple since I've started training at Flex. I love this fucking machine. I've always wanted to use these types of machines. They are fantastic for your lats. For a long time, I've used the kind of like 35-degree handle. That's a bit of an angle, but because the machine diverges out, which you want, I find using that handle forces me to kind of like drop myself into somewhat of an unnatural position to then match the movement of the machine. Whereas for the best part 3, maybe 4 months, probably a bit longer than that, I've used the more neutral handle, lined everything up and just banged down, and again, like I've been saying on everything else, I'm kind of letting my body, I'm keeping my shoulders static, keeping my shoulders square to the machine, like pointing forward, but as I'm coming up, I'm letting that go into a stretch. So I'm not stopping short, I'm going into a full stretch, and then just pulling down as hard as I can, and I genuinely, the contraction I feel on this in my lat trumps everything. There's not a single movement I can do, cables, dumbbells, barbells, machines, whatever the fuck, better than that high lat row, whatever you want to call it. Fantastic machine.
But I'm still hearing your voice in my head. Oh, I wish I was more than your fan now, and that your voice came from here in my bed. You're in my headphones, baby, in my headphones, baby, in my headphones, singing to me. You're in my headphones, baby, in my headphones, baby, in my headphones, making me bleed. You're in my you're in my
Right, so we did this kind of like machine techno gym pull down. It's similar to like a kind of rotary movement because it kind of, as you can see there, it kind of scissors down. As sexual as that sounds. And I don't really hold it. I hold it here, there. I don't really hold the handle. I hold the frame of it, which is a bit narrow, but I find again it hits right in the middle of my upper back, and it's fucking fantastic. So all I'm doing here is one straight set, and then my back off is just continuous reps, just trying to fill the body, fill the lat, fill the back with as much blood as possibly can, because it's the last set for back. And then as soon as I'm done, I go straight into a kind of forced stretch and just let the machine pull me out of the seat. And again, stretching, squeezing, all this like bro sciencey shit, that's what I'm finding my back's responded the most to this whole fucking off season. People may hear this and be like, oh, you're a wanker, you're old school, whatever, it's working. I'm enjoying it. It is what it is. Right, so the last thing we're doing today, it is past tense, because I filmed everything and then do these little fucking videos. It saves me time. So we did a superset. So I do vary. Some weeks I'll just do three straight sets on this, depending on how my upper back is feeling. More of recent, I've been doing a superset, just two supersets as straight sets of shrugs, bar shrugs, and then straight into this. So the bar shrugs is anywhere between 8 to 12, but if I get to 12, I'll go to failure, obviously. And then I'll go straight into this, and I'll just make sure I get more than 15. And when I'm on the reverse pec deck, I'm trying to keep my shoulders from coming together, but I'm using the biggest arm path as I can. So it's like pushing my arm forward and then out. Big, big stretch, big, big movement, big, big contraction in the rear delts. And with shrugs, this is something like I very rarely tell clients to do, very rarely prescribe, very rarely have done. But the more I look at my physique, that's what's becoming obvious that I'm lacking, is the things I've not done for a long fucking time. And it's a nice sweet little superset, like a whole upper back, rear delt, shelf area, just gets absolutely bloated. So, decent little session. I hope these little snippets have helped give some context of everything I've done. I really can't be fucked filming these little snippets between sets because it will take longer, and the priority is training. Now time to go, please.